Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we are going to create an amazing replica of Color Switch. I'm going to teach you how to work with colliders, how to change the colors, how to destroy game object, and how to restart a level. So let's get this video started without wasting any time.
So guys, I'm gonna import some packages like this one that I created with this small circle here. That will be our main right now. This small circle here, you can see that. Now what we need to do is go to the sprite editor, and we can go there on the center one and click on the normalize and then slice it. Okay, we should go to the multiple and then go to the sprite mode. So that was the thing that I was doing. We're gonna go to the slice, and in this we're gonna go slice. Look at that, the slice are now created, and we're gonna go apply, and this thing is applied. Look at that, we got 4 things from one PSD. Now I'm gonna drag these things to this area here, and wait a second, I will just make them better so I will name this one let's see, the blue. And there's another shortcut key is that you press F2, you can simply rename it there instead of going all the way here. You can simply rename it here. And some writing, oops. Now for this one I will be going for the pink, and for this one it is magenta. So we got 4 colors. So basically now I'm going to arrange them, and so now I am now arranging them, and after that I'm going to be rotating them so that they can give a nice effect of the color switch game. So I think that's it. That's a rough idea you can get. Now we need to rotate this. If you select all of these and rotate, you can see that these whole circles are rotating at their axis. So what we need to do, we need to make a parent. So I create a game object and name it the parent color, and I drag all of these 4 into this one here. So now I'm good. I go to this component, game object, and center on children on this parent object here, so that when I rotate the Z axis, it simply rotates. So now what we need to do, we need to create a script so that we need this thing rotating. So the next thing that I'm going to do is creating a script. I will name that script rotation. I will name the script rotation and new script. So this new script is created, and let me organize things a little bit. I'm gonna create a folder for the scripts, and then I'm going to create a folder for the materials. Let us call the these the items here materials, so that we need something so that there will be no garbage on this area. So now I'm going to open this here in the Visual Studio 2012. Well, I'm using 2012. I think you guys have 2018, 19, so it doesn't matter. You just need to go to the simple code. So the thing is that what we have done here, let me give you a quick recap here, is that I have dragged all of these elements here, and I have made them child of this parent color. Simply what I'm saying is that I have dragged all of these 4 inside this parent color, and I have gone to the game object and simply click on this center on children. So whenever I rotate on the Z axis, this whole thing rotates. So it's like, circle rotating, so that you can literally jump in here, and if you collide to another one, you can die. So what I'm going to do next is going to create a script. That script is going to rotate this object here. So in this script, I'm going to write the code for the rotation of that circle, or you can say that color, the collection of the colors. So I will use a public float speed. On the speed that that thing would rotate, I will put the value 10f, and in the update function, I will simply use transform dot rotate, and in this I will write 0 for the x, 0 for the y, because we don't want to rotate on the 0 x and y. We want to it to rotate on the z axis. So I'm simply going to put the value in the z axis and multiply by with time dot delta time. So now what does this time dot delta time do? It is simply like when you are like it's the time that is used by the computer to process things. So if a computer is fast, and if you don't write this time dot delta time, then it would process things faster than compared to the computer that is slower. So this time dot delta time evens that out, and it equally process in every computer according to their processing speed, so that there is no delay in the game. So basically it's for the smoothness in the game. So now let us see what happens. Okay, let's see. Yeah, now I have the rotation script is in. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's not rotating. Well, let's see what's happening here. You can see that this circle is now rotating over here. So well, the value is not big, so that's why it's slow. So you can simply edit the value over here. I will write 100, and now you can see that this thing will be going much faster than the previous one. So voila, we have created the rotation of an object, a rotation of the circle in which the ball will bounce. So the next thing is the bouncing of the ball. So I will now jump onto the bouncing of the ball, and after we have done the bouncing of the ball, I will then create the collider and then make some real gameplay action here. Hey guys, so the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to create a 2D object. Let's call it sprite one, and in the sprite I'm gonna use this knob here, and let's drag it down. Why these things, all of them, this one is to see things around. This one to move the object. You can simply use the shortcut. For this hand tool you can use the Q. For this move tool you can use the W. For this rotate tool you can use the E. For this scale tool you can use the R. For this rect tool you can use the T, and for this move, rotate, or scale selected object you can use the Y. So now we will be using the W, so that we can simply move this thing around. And there's another shortcut. You can when you are far enough, you can simply click on this new sprite and press F to focus on it. You can see that it simply run it from the back and just go into it and focus it on. So now I'm going to place it here. So let's make the size of this thing about 2. I think 2 would be enough. Yeah. So I'm going to name it the player, and the next thing I'm going to use the circle collider 2D, and I'm going to edit that collider. And you can simply edit the collider by simply changing the values, but I am doing this. You can simply use this, change the radius values, and you can simply edit the collider. So now the collider is edited, and I'm going to add a simple script, and I will call it the movement. So the script is edited, and let's open the script in the Visual Studio. So now what I need to do is the jump force. So basically I will public float, sorry, float jump force, and I will make the jump force equal to 10f. So again, I am telling you this f is for float, so I use this f so that there will be no errors, even if I put like 0 here, so that there will be no error here there. So that's I like this is my you can say that is my thing that I used to put the f there. So now I'm going to use you can use two things, rb dot the add force. Yeah, we haven't created that. Yeah, second thing is that you need to create a rigid body. Why is that? Because there is a rigid body in that circle that is using this circle body is basically when you have added a circle collider, or I haven't added the rigid body, so let's add the rigid body. So that rigid body is helping us to use the gravity scale, so that's why this thing is going to fall and hop like in the real actual game it's jumping up and down, up and down. So that's going to happen when you use a rigid body. So now you're using a rigid body, you can simply use the transform in the movement, but transform is not going to look like realistic, so I'm using this public rigid body rb. So what we need to do, we can jump the ball by using rb dot add force, but this will also not make it look realistic. So now I'm going to do rb dot velocity is equal to vector2 dot up multiply by jump force, and this is it. Let us check one more thing. Yeah, so now we wanted to only jump when we press certain keys, like the up arrow key or the mouse button. So I'm going to use the if loops here. So guys, if you have no knowledge about these loops or the arrays, I have another course about the C#. You can simply go that that's a basic course for about 3 hours. You can simply read that course. You can simply learn about these loops or the arrays, and then you can come back here, because these things are very important. These things are a crucial part of learning. So now, without wasting any time, I'm gonna simply jump in here, and now I need a simple condition statement. What I'm going to write is that if input dot get key, and now I'm going to use key code dot right arrow, or input dot get key y1. So now another thing I will be using here is a down. When I press it down, then it's gonna happen. So let us see what happens when we do this, and we need to drag the rigid body in here. This thing is I think rendering. So now I'm going to drag this rigid body into this RB, and let's see what happens. It surely will fall down because I haven't applied something here. Wait a second, what's happening? Oh, fire one is unknown. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the missing thing. Well, you can use simply dot without using get mouse button down, and 0 here. Look at that, it's working. So there's some lag in the falling down thing, so I'm gonna repair that one. What I'm going to do is here I'm going to increase this gravity scale by I think 3.4. I think 4.1 is enough. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's looking like a real game, like a real color switch here. So let us change the gravity to and mass to 1.5 something, and the angular drag to 1, and let's see what happens then. Now you can see that it's looking like a real game and it's fun to play right now. Yeah. So the next thing I'm going to do is that because whenever I push this button here, this thing falls down. So I want it to keep jumping until I press the mouse button or the arrow key over here. So when I press this, it goes into action and the transfer is controlled to this mouse button. So I'm going to need another logic over there. So what we need to do here is that in the set color, I'm going to use switch statement. So that first of all, I'm going to use integer. Let us say that number, and in this I'm going to use the random dot range, and we are using 4 numbers, so we will going from 0 to 4. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use a switch statement, and for the case 0 it will be I haven't done that here. So in this here, public color. Oh, sorry, I'm going. I'm not using the color here. I'm using the string color. So let us say that current color. What will be the current color of that object? So I'm going to use the current color is equal to cyan, or not going for the cyan, for the blues, the bluish, not the cyan. So I'm going to break it here, and case 1 current color is equal to yellow, and break case 2 is equal to, yeah, that's why case 2 is equal to current color is equal to sorry, and that was my mobile. So current color is equal to it is called the magenta, and I think I have saved these because these things should be equal to the tags. I have saved all of the tag with the encapsulation of, so that are small letters basically. So I am using that small letters. So I'm going for 3. That would be 5 elements. So current color is equal to pink. Well, why I'm doing that is that because wait a second, I'm going to tell you. So the thing is that why I have done that is that you can see that here the blue one is got a tag of blue, and the yellow one got a tag of yellow, and the pink one got a tag of pink. So the logic that I have applied here is that simply when the current color is equal, when it should be equal to the blue, when you can say that it is equal to this one and the ball is hitting the pink one, then it is not equal to the blue, so then the game would stop. So my main logic is that playing with the colors, and we can simply run the game by using the colors combination. So let us see what happens if we play this here, and we should go to the player, and you can see a thing here. Where is that? I haven't saved that. It's going to take some time for the processing, and you can see that it's blue. Let us do that again. If it changes, it's blue again. Let us do that again. If it changes, it's yellow. So the logic here is working. So the color that is generating here is different. So let's move on to the next thing that we need to do is simply changing the color. So I'm going to use public color call. So basically now this thing is going to change the color. What we need to do is that we need to create an array in which we can store all of these 4 colors. So the next thing is that we are going to so now what I'm going to do is I'm adding a color right here. This is basically a color element. Call is basically you can say that is a material. It will change the color of the player. So the next thing, basically this color will change the, I would like to add some different colors at the start. Whenever the game start, it would load some different colors. So I'm not using an array right now. I'm using separate colors like color yellow, and I will make another public color that will be color, will be like color yellow and color blue and color magenta, and then finally color pink. So basically these 4 elements will store the value of the colors, and it will simply change the value, it will simply change the color of the player. So the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to simply add them in the, I think that the case would be fine. So the next thing I'm doing is I'm using a sprite renderer. So what the sprite renderer do is it is used to render that color, because in the Unity we have used 2D sprites, so we are using sprite renderer. So now in the case I would simply write the statement here with the sr.color, and color will be equal to color dot this will be blue. The next now the next thing that I'm going to write is the sr.color color dot yellow on the next statement. So it is necessary to put the break statement, because if you don't put the break statement, the loop doesn't exit its states. So this case 0 will go on for unlimited time. So now I'm writing sr.color is equal to color yellow, and then sr.color magenta, and the last thing I will be writing sr.color is equal to color pink. So now that I've written all of these things, the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to save the file here, and wait a second. I will need to so I'm going to save it, and I'm going to go into this. Now I got these colors here. So for the color blue, I'm going for this one here, and for the yellow, I'm just using the color picker here, so that it will be same as of the. So in this, just simply go there and max the A value, so that color would be brightest and it can be shown. Do this for all of the 4 colors. Now let's see what happens to the sprite render. Does it change color or not? Oh yeah, I have forgot one thing. I haven't dragged this value down here. So let us stay. And yeah, look at that. It changes the value, and the basic function of the color switches game is working. So the next thing that we are going to do is that we are going to create some kind of levels there, and create some kind of Boolean effect there, so that whenever it collides the wrong color. So now let's jump on to the Boolean part, where the color that is not equal to the color of this circle here collided with the other color. So the game gonna end, and I will be showing this message over here, the game over message. So I'm going to jump in, and I'm going to jump in here, and I'm going to remove this one from there, and if current color is not equal to the, which one here, sr.color. So the current color is of the ball, and we will be going like col.tag is not equal to the current color. So it will show the debug dot log and game over. We should write loser, yeah. So let's get into this and see what happened. So for this we got the yellow, and we got, whenever we try to go in there, when we are going from the yellow, it's not happening. Look at that, nothing's happening. But when we try to go from the magenta or the pink, you can see the game over. So this is the basic logic. Well, I can create another circle here. You can copy this one, see, and paste it here, or you can use the Control D for the duplicate. So I'm going to copy it here, and it should be right here. So the player is on the value of that the y is -3. So whenever it moves to the +1, it should change. So the second thing is that I will be changing speed of this one to, let's say, 300 -300, so that it will be rotating in the reverse direction. So let's see what happened. You can see the both elements are not rotating in the same direction. I really suck at this game. So our basic logic is completed. The next thing is I'm going to do is I'm going to use a camera follow, and for that I'm going to be using another C# script, and I will name it the camera follow. And let's drag it to the main camera over here. Yeah, it's processing, so it takes time. So drag this script to this camera follow here, and so basically what we need to do here, we need to create a logic. So what I'm doing that is whenever this ball moves to y-axis up, the camera should be following it up. So how is going to happen? So I'm going to use public transform player, so that we can drag the player that is ball, and into this in the Unity. And here I will be using if statement, and in the if statement I will be writing that if player dot position dot y greater than transform dot position dot y. So in this we need to change the position of the camera. What we need to do is transform dot position is equal to new vector 3 and player dot position dot y, not for the x, so x, and player dot position dot y, player dot position dot z. So I think this should be working, and let's see what the results are. Oh yeah, I haven't dragged the player here. I was thinking why it's not working. So now it should work, and it should work fine, and let's see. Yeah, there's this thing here that we drag the camera too much up that it loses the ball downward. So what we need to do here is that we need to, yeah, so this was happening. I was changing all the values with the player, and these, because the x and y value should remain constant, and we are only changing the y values, not the x value. So I don't, gonna work. Look at that, it's working. So now because I was changing all of the values, so that's why it's not working. It was not working earlier, so now it's working. You can simply go up and play it. And now we need a thing that whenever we hit the wrong color, there's another scene started. So you can say that it will be a level, or you can be starting from the zero. So I'm gonna make a scene management script, or I can simply use this movement script here and add something here in the current color. So guys, the next thing that I'm going to do is that whenever this ball touches the a different color, instead of writing down the game over, I'm going to restart it from the beginning. So it's simple. What you need to do is that you need to go into there, and you first of all load the library Unity using Unity engine dot scene management. The next thing that you want to do is that in the that if statement that we have created when it was saying game over, in this you have simply to write the scene manager dot load scene, and in the brackets you have to write scene manager dot get active scenes and bracket dot build index. What this should do would do is that it would restart the game to the beginning of the level. So let us see what happens. You can see that it's a blue color ball, and whenever we hit it doesn't go in because of the thing that we are doing. Look at that. Whenever we hit the wrong color, it just restarts the level. And now it's the yellow one. I'm going to play a little bit. I really suck at this game. Okay. Well, I can't even go in. So this thing was the restart level. Another thing that I'm going to show you is that how to create a score over here, so that whenever you pass a circle, it will be showing one. Or first of all, let me tell you how to use a text. So basically, we will use this right click and UI on the UI, and we'll create a text here. So in the text, I'll writing let us say 1, and let's see it is does it show on the screen. I'm going to 2D. It is 2D. So for the text, I have to place the text somewhere there, and what we need to do is that change the color of normal to bold and size to 20 something, and change the color to white. So I think this should be visible. So in the text, I have to create another script, and let us say that score. So the next thing that I'm going to do is create a color changer. Whenever the ball entered that color changer, the ball changes the color, because right now you can see that at the start it changes the color. You can see that at the start it changes the color, and after that it doesn't even change. So I have to create color changer. So for this I will create a 2D object and make it sprite, and for the sprite we can create a knob and change the color of the knob to the black, and it is so it lies in the between of these two. So whenever the ball enters this one here, it simply changes the color, and I'm going to so that I can play the game. So I'm going to sorry about that, and I will name it color changer, and I will give it a tag, and I will give the tag color changer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the circuit collider 2D and click is on the edge trigger. The next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going into the script here. Well, we need to change this value to 4 because it's not going into this third one, last one here. So what I'm going to do is that make another condition here. It will be that if the collider dot tag is equal to color changer, what it will do is that it will simply set color and destroy dot I'm going to use another thing here, and that will be public game object, because we want that object to be destroyed. That's why I need a game object here, and it will be destroy object obj. And the next thing would be what we are doing here. Well, that's it. Let's see what happens. First of all, I wish I should pass this big circle here so that I will show you what is going on in. Wait a second, something's not. Yeah, I just misspelled it. So let us check what is happening. What is happening here? So without using the game object, I can simply use the destroy whole dot game object, and let's see what happens. So I have figured out that I was not using this tag here. So let us simply move on to that, because you can see that let me make through this here, and come on. You can see that the color is changing. So the thing is that you should be careful about these things, because I haven't changed the tag to this color changer, and that was the main problem that was causing the problem, and that was not changing the color and was restarting the level. So I think this was all from my side, because I have created a game that is similar to the color switch. You can add the levels, and you can simply add different types of animations. The other thing is that let me show you something what we can do with the animations. I copy this one here, and this thing and I move it and change the size with let us say 4. No, the 4 is too much big. 2 2 is also big. 1.1 and 1.1. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to remove this rotation script and I'm going to add a simple I'm going to add an animation. Where is the animation? Yeah. So I'm going to add some animation here. So what I'm going to add is that I'm going to yes, I'm going to save the new animation and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to start recording and let us rotate this. And at this time of interval, this will be very fast, like this. So after that time, it will simply just slow down and so it's set. Let's see what happens. You can see that over here is that this thing is moving as we want it to move. You can see that it's rotating, then it's stopping. You can see that it's rotating, it's stopping. So that's the thing that you can do with animation. I think you got it how I did it. If you didn't got it, let me show you for another time. You just stop it and I'm going to remove all of these properties from here and let me show you again. I'm going to record this and on this one here I'm going to change some axis, positive axis, and look at that, I have changed it and now I'll go to the 30 and after that 30 it's going to be fast, you know, this fast. So after that what is going to be, it's going to be this far. I will drag these two down back here and after that it will be going like this. So let us see what happens. Keep an eye on this thing here and you can see that it's moving very fast. You can play with it, you can create some cool levels with it, you can simply drag and drop with it. So guys, that's for the animation task part. So one more thing, I'm going to create some boundary over here, so that's the ball keep jumping until you press the up arrow or the mouse button. Whenever you press the mouse button, the control is in your hand and you can control the ball. So let's jump into it. I'm going to remove this animation right now and remove this one here because I don't want it. So I want the player to be focused on. So let's move it and add the property. The other thing is that let me show you something what we can do with the animations. I copy this one here and this thing and I move it and change the size with let us say 4. No, the 4 is too much big. 2 2 is also big. 1.1 and 1.1. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to remove this rotation script and I'm going to add a simple I'm going to add an animation. Where is the animation? Yeah, so I'm going to add some animation here. So what I'm going to add is that I'm going to yes, I'm going to save the new animation, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to start recording, and let us rotate this. And at this time of interval, this will be very fast, like this. So after that time, it will simply just slow down, and so it's set. Let's see what happens. You can see that over here is that this thing is moving as we want it to move. You can see that it's rotating, then it's stopping. You can see that it's rotating, it's stopping. So that's the thing that you can do with animation. I think you got it how I did it. If you didn't got it, let me show you for another time. You just stop it, and I'm going to remove all of these properties from here, and let me show you again. So the next thing that I want is that this ball should be kept hopping, and until we press the up arrow or the mouse button. So I will add some in the movement. So what I need to do is that I will simply go in the update function, and so you can see that this ball over here, when it touches this one, this should bounce back. So the value when it goes down there is minus 4.79, and it should be bouncing up to the, that's we cannot say that because we are adding a force, we are not adding some z or y axis. So we can say that its lower bound should be minus 4.79. That if it goes below than minus 4.7, then it should bounce back. So what should I do? I should simply just go there, and I write that if transform dot position dot y is less than, is greater than is less than equal to minus 4.5. So what I'm going to add is there, I'm going to add simply this here. So let's see what happens. I think this should work because I've added something in there, and well, it's taking some time. Yeah, you can see that it's simply hopping. So when we do this, it's not going down until we do this. So what I need to do is there, I need to put something that when I click the mouse button, it should not be bouncing by itself. It should free fall downwards, and the automation should be ended. So I need to set something, a boolean, a bool value. So I should go there and type public bool is move is equal to true. So basically, when it is started, let me write true here. So when the game is started, the value of its move is true, and when we click on this and it entered that thing, the is move value is equal to false. So I'm going to write that if if and is move is equal to true, then this should go in, and apply the bounciness on the ball. So I think that's it, and it will simply do what I am thinking. So look at that. Which second is processing. So you can see that when I just click on the ball, it just goes down. So basically, this is a simple. Let me tell you one thing. What does bool do? Bool do here. Bool is basically boolean, and in the boolean you can only set true or false, or it's like 0 or 1. It can be true or it can be false. It cannot be in the between of true and false. So basically, bool does that. So this is basically, I think this is it.